Well, hey everyone, it's Velocity Vet 08, and I am really excited to bring you this video. It's the finished video of the cabin I've been working so hard on. And I'll get some water here real quick. This has been so fun, and this is a Sawcrafters design team project. It would not have been possible without her house. And for those of you who have not watched any of the process videos and are not up on what I've been working on, I will basically start at the beginning as to what I did. This is one of her houses that you can buy in the store. I think it's like, I want to say $9.99, something like that. I mean, her houses are such a bargain because if you go shopping for a dollhouse, I mean, it's sticker shock beyond imagination. And now she's selling not only this one, the doghouse, and now she's got a 2-story house, and I think she's going to be working on some more stuff even pretty soon. So, and I think her 2-story house is like $10 too. I mean, compare that to a couple hundred minimum for something, small. But you can easily spend thousands on these things. And so this is a great way to have fun with miniatures and have fun with a little house and not break the bank. Because let's face it, this isn't usually all we do as crafters. There's people who do those big doll houses, and that is what they do. They build big doll houses, that's their craft, and they don't have all the other stuff that we have in our craft room for our other crafts that we do in our creating. And because, like myself, I do shabby chic, I do steampunk. I mean, I have to have products for every kind of style. So this is a great way, if you're anything like me, to play with something like this and, like I said, not break the bank because you do other types of creating as well. So this has just been a great way to have fun and express myself with this. So this house, I wanted to fill with a lot of things and make this big scene. I had this whole big imagination going on in my mind, and the house just wasn't big enough for my imagination on it. So my husband and I went to the store and got this piece of MDF, and basically it's twice as thick. It's 6 mil instead of 3 mil. All of her pieces are 3 mil, which is pretty much standard for the industry on wood pieces like this. I mean, it's nice and thick and really great. But that 6 mil was as thin as they sold at Home Depot. And actually, I'm glad that it's this thick because it gives it a lot of support. And then I had them cut it down to a 1 foot by 1 foot. So it's 12 by 12. The piece that I bought came in a 2 foot by 4 foot. So I have two pieces this size and a 2 foot by 1 foot piece left. And I think that's great because I'll probably use, the other one as well. So basically it's pretty simple. You can see what I did. This side right here, this piece that comes along here, was the side that would normally go here. And then you had a base that went out to here. And then the picket fence went around and you have a little opening into your doorway. So that's how it normally looks, and which is great, and that may be all the bigger that you need. It's all the bigger that the Halloween house I did or the Christmas house I did. So this is my third house, and I have just really gotten into the miniature part of it, so I decided to just blow it out. So I basically what I did, and I had changed my mind on this partway through, so I had to change it up. And so basically what I did was I just glued the pieces together here with E6000 to make sure that they would stay nice and sturdy. And I did all my embellishing on it before I mounted it to the board. But I did figure out my dimensions on the board, and I put down my flooring. And this is basically just like a piece of paper, but it's really thick. And I Mod Podged it down with a glossy Mod Podge. I painted this, of course, green, and then I just used the glossy Mod Podge over the whole entire base, and that pretty much took care of my flooring. As far as inside, the paper that I used, it's a very obviously outdoorsy looking paper, and I got it at a scrapbooking store in another state. Actually, I'm in Missouri and it was in Illinois, and we went over there just to see this store, and it was like kind of a plain Jane kind of store. I thought they didn't have like any real cool stuff, but they did have some of this like themed paper, and it was so cheap. It's one-sided paper, and you can almost read through it. It's very cheap, but it did serve the purpose because it's hard to find paper like this, and so that I went with it. And then what I did was the two windows over here have acetate to make them look like windows. But this one here, I'm going to hopefully hold that up to the camera. Can you see this window? There's a deer looking in the window. And so I just cut that out of the paper. And then I put it down. I just put it on the back of the window. And then I sided over it. You can see the siding on the front. And I'll show you the back. I painted it light gray. And then I did a crackle treatment to it, a treatment called Weather Wood from Folk Art, I want to say, makes it. I'm not sure. But I just put the siding on with light gray, and then I used a blue gray on top of it after I put down my weathered wood treatment. And then after it cracked some, and it really looks weathered, looked very cabin, very kind of a farmhouse feel. And then I put Mod Podge all over it to protect it. And I also used the heat gun on it some, and it made it kind of bubble, and I pulled some paint off just to have that real weathered look. And again, Mod Podged it. I used matte Mod Podge on the house. It's like a satin finish on the siding part. And then on the wood trim, I used glossy Mod Podge just to kind of make it look a little bit different. My wood trim is very inconsistent, and it was twofold. One, I ran out of pieces because I kind of changed up so much what I was doing. But it didn't matter because the way I look at it is I wanted it to be kind of put together hodgepodge because it's a hunting cabin, and I didn't want it to end up looking like a house. I wanted it to look, like nice like a house. I wanted it to have a cabin look. You would have I wanted it to look very like, a bunch of buddies got together and built this over several weekends. That's how I wanted it to look. And so that really imperfect, not enough materials, type of thing. Like we put together what we had and made this. So this like here is baseboard trim, and this is stir sticks for coffee. This is baseboard trim. Up front here is more stir sticks. This is actually popsicle sticks, and this is stir sticks. They're a little skinnier. And this right here is actually window trim. So I have all different kind of trims going on to trim it out, and I was fine with that because like I said, it gave it that kind of look. And then here I used the like cove edging, that you put at the top of your ceiling up at the wall, that kind of, I forget what it's called, but I call it kind of cove molding. And I put some of that here, and then it's all inside as well. I had a flashlight here. It is. It's kind of hard to kind of see inside, but hopefully you can kind of see. I'll put it down. Maybe that'll make it like easier too. Oops, I lost a piece. So you can see that molding, and that was just to kind of hide the gaps and stuff because there's a lot of gaps, and it's homemade, handmade, and so that's the look, like I said, that I was going for. And this is my little poker tool here. Isn't this just so cute? Look at this. It's like a little tiny shovel, and I have like a whole little fireplace set right here for the stove. So that was kind of from a wood standpoint what I did. Obviously I got rid of one side of the roof, and I just have the other side down, and I used shingles and that, and I stained them with like a spray. I used espresso, which is Adirondack color wash spray, and I put the espresso down first, and then I used Delusions white linen spray, and I brushed it somewhat so that I would get that just like real weathered roof look. And again, I just had it look like I used how much I had. I didn't want it to be a perfect look. This is a cabin. It's not, it's pretend, and it's not meant to be perfect. So I wanted it, it's not trimmed off perfect. It's not finished. It's not guttered. It's just done enough to keep the cabin dry. It's kind of the intent of the look. And I just put a couple birds up here. Here in Missouri, cardinals are popular, and this is like, a boy and girl cardinal. And then I have a little blue jay sitting here, all very common birds for our area. And because I had a whole package of different birds, and those were the ones that I was like, well, they're, like the most common. And I just used a bright white for trimming all my outside trim. I mean, it's just a plain old bright white. And like I said, I just used then the Mod Podge over it. And this was just kind of like a pine green color. I thought that looked pretty good. Then I got to go to town decorating it, which was just like immensely just so fun. I had such a good time with it. I did use the fencing pieces that were left, the picket fence that I had that was left over from, the original house. And I just kind of made a corner right there for my barbecue grill. And then there's a piece, you can kind of see it probably poking out, maybe back here in the back, that goes along the back, just to give it kind of a neat, kind of look. This part right out here, I wanted to make a scene. I'll start with the outside, just a real, kind of a fun outdoor type of scene. And it kind of is of a combined type scene. In other words, this area is more like what would be in front of the cabin. This might be a little bit further away from the cabin, but I had to make it, all together. Over here, I just, put this little grill here, and I got this off of eBay. From an individual buyer. The majority of the items came off of eBay. The problem is they didn't all come from one buyer. They came from like multiple, like at least 15 to 20 different buyers. It was like really crazy. I was getting these little tiny packages for days. And so this was the only item I bought from this particular buyer. And it's really cute. It opens and has, cute little tray inside. And it like even moves real good, but it's glued down. And I got some charcoal for it and lighter fluid. And then I had gotten a whole bag of soda cans. And so I put the little soda can right there. And I don't know if you can see it. I'm kind of move it around a little bit. You can see the soda can and the lighter fluid there to the side. And there's shelves here, that you could put stuff on if you wanted. I don't really, I'm going to leave it kind of turned like this for you. I don't really have anything to put on the shelf. I bought a lot of miniatures for this, but you could keep on buying. I mean, there's so many cute things that could still be bought to go in this. I mean, it's just incredible. A lot of things, I will tell you this, a lot of things came from Hobby Lobby. That is a really good place to get miniatures. They have a brand called Mayberry Street, and it's a good place. So that's pretty cool, depending on, what you're making. I will tell you this, if you're making the doghouse as a miniature item, check Saw's store first, because Saw did make a lot of great dog miniatures, little bones and things like that. So she does have some items like that in her store, so you can take a look at those, as well. So I also bought some furniture, and I figured that my little scene here was a place where my husband might sit by a creek. And so there's a little lantern and a little can of off and then a soda for him to drink, because I had, like I said, the whole bag of sodas, so or pops, wherever you're from. And so there's a little can there. And then this little basket right here, probably most of you know, but this would be like for holding your bait, like little minnows or something like that. And then, of course, he has a gun by him because a bear could come through, and you got to be ready. This is a little lamp that is on the house that comes with saws, when you buy this. It is fragile, and I know a lot of people have broken them and tossed them and not done anything with them. I did break mine as well accidentally because it is very fragile right here, and there's not really a lot you can do about it as far as design wise to fix it, but it is fixable. And I just wanted to tell you that mine is just sturdy as can be. I put some E6000 on it, a little bit of hot glue, and then I embossed it. And the embossing and all that really made it sturdy. So I just wanted to tell you that that's not the end of the world. If you break it, you can save it. And you can look at my process videos because I show how to do it. And then here is, I love this that I got. This for the front. I was so excited to find this right here. I just thought it was so cool. And I put some little mossy stuff up there to make it look like a bird had made a nest. And then I have a little hook hanging here with a fishnet hanging off the hook. And I thought that was like really cute. And so the creek, I just took a lot of little rocks and built them up with my mossy stuff. And before I did that, though, I used this stencil. It's a Tim Holtz heart stencil. And I also used some new the shimmers that I got. And I used the Dazzlers in the blue color. And it worked really good. I was able to build up a lot of texture on these hearts. They're I wanted them to look almost like waves, and then I sprinkled some blue glitter on it just to have like that reflection of water. You know how the sun will shine off of water and make it reflect? I was trying to get that look, plus have a little fun with it. It's a Valentine's gift, so the hearts were my way of putting Valentine's into this masculine project. And I just thought it turned out really cool. It just looks like a stream, and it curves, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. And then I just stuck this little miniature fishing pole in here. It has a little bobber on it, and then there's a fish laying here on the rocks. And I adore the outdoor scene. I really do. And all of this, let me tell you what, like to view this scene is to get to know my husband, because this is so how he would have things set up and how he would enjoy things. And so moving to the inside, because this is going to take as long as all the process videos. It's just a long event. I have deep inside there is a gun, because a man can't be without his gun. And it's pretty good size, and so I wanted to have it in the back. And then also some cleaning supplies. There's a mop and a bucket and a broom and everything, so you got to have some cleaning supplies. And then the kitchen stove, and obviously it's a wood burning stove. And then I got some of that like splatter looking pots and pans. And then right here is this little can of coffee. My husband's a coffee drinker, and you can see actually, hopefully you'll be able to see it. The door opens on the stove, and I don't know if you'll be able to see inside there or not. Probably not. There's actually another piece of the pots and pans inside there, and you can see it. It's like a Dutch oven. And then I have, I'm going to turn it like this so hopefully you can see in there a little bit better. This is actually a working book of matches, or box of matches. It opens and closes. I glued it down just because, I don't want things flying all over the place. But the little match sticks are in there and everything. It's incredible. And then this whole set right here of cutlery that I have came with like a fork, like the 2-prong fork you stab meat with. I actually glued it down to the top of the wood burning stove down there, which is kind of neat looking, because it looks like, just ready to grab some meat out of the out of a pot. And then I have, the tools for cleaning out the wood burning stove, and then some more wood. And then when you get around to, right here, like we have in our basement, every guy's got like a dartboard. So there's a dartboard here, and you'll be able to see too some of these things better in the pictures. And then the lantern hanging right here, right by his chair, because he would want to have light to be able to grab and go somewhere. That's just how he would be. And then there's a little teeny tiny pair of reading glasses right here on the arm of the chair, because he's reading magazines, and he's got a little bottle of hooch here to, take a swig if he wants. And then he's got his tackle box here and he's, getting it ready for fishing for the next day. And that would be him getting very prepared. And then over here, he had a good day fishing. I'm going to make sure I get it kind of turned a little bit this way. He had a good day fishing, and so he's got a couple fish out here on this piece of furniture, which the door is open on. It's just so darling. And he's got another can of soda here and his cutlery because he's going to be cleaning these. And then here's just a nice outdoor action. You got to have some things like that on hand. And of course the tackle box. And then we got a little rug. It feels so neat, you guys. It's just like a country style braided rug, and it just feels so cool. And then this right here is just a tub, and it's full of fish that he caught. He had such a good day. And then these little fake ice cubes to keep them cold. And the fish are just all in there waiting to be cleaned. And I actually had to get them from Thailand or Taiwan. I can't remember which it was. I think it was Thailand. So it wasn't easy collecting some of these things, but I've been working on it for a very long time. So that is the whole, and this little Gone Fishing. That was a really hard item to get. I had to work on getting that too because it was really one of a kind. A man makes this for like a hobby, and so I was able to get one of those hanging on the hook here. And and then this I thought was so awesome too, and it was really one of a kind too. It's the head of the fish and the tail, and then this like big ruler in the middle, and it just says it was this big. So I thought that was really cute, and something that a man would have like to decorate his cabin. And then right here is items, spatulas and so forth for doing your cooking. You got to have some kitchen tools. So that is everything in the house. And there'll be, like I said, pictures here right after this. So hopefully that, anything you couldn't see very good, you can see in the pictures. Thanks for watching, and thanks for enjoying this with me. And I'll be on to the next project. Bye.